Hi guys, welcome to another edition of the General Gerry channel. I'm here with WJ. WJ, how's it going?
Alrighty. I'm doing okay, Jerry. Doing fine.
So, main reason why we're here, obviously we'll get to this JD thing in a second here, but before we do, WJ has a brand new YouTube channel. Link is in the description below. WJ has a few videos on there about AEW and has actually a good few videos on there. So below, click the link below, subscribe to WJ. Let's see if we can get him 1,000 there. Let's get him 1,000 there. That's what I say. But link is in the description below.
It's tough times, Jer. I'm expecting a struggle to get back to 1,000, Jer, but it's all for fun there.
That's it. Well, that's one thing we're here for, WJ. It's wrestling.
A broken down version of the wrestling Jesus, Jer. I'm at my lowest that I've ever been, Jer. I've lost faith, or the people have lost faith there, Jer. People are angry. I think because we brought Scott on the channel, I don't know, Jer, what people are angry about there. Times are tough, Jer, and it's a tough climb back uphill. But the wrestling Jesus is back there. Subscribe today. Oh.
As Miley Cyrus would say, it's the climb.
I gotta work on my mental health, Jer. My weight. I've gained weight during COVID. It's tough times all around, Jared. Dark times, especially in wrestling, when we got freaks like this JD from New York feller there. What's this feller talking about here, Jared?
So, JD from New York did a SmackDown video, and he was telling that Zelena Vega is a sellout, pretty much getting angry for absolutely no reason. Obviously, JD has his supporters, and that's totally fine. I just don't see why a grown-ass man is getting so angry at someone getting their job back. Now, in the video, WJ, in the SmackDown video, he's screaming. Like physically screaming, okay? He's but go ahead there.
She already had a job there. She leaves because he deems she should go to the Popcorn Clown Federation, AEW, because she doesn't go where he deems is where wrestlers go to be saved because he's a mental case there. Because she doesn't do this, then she's a sellout, basically. It's like you said that she already had the job. Like, these fans are fucking pathetic freaks. But go ahead, Jer.
So he does his video, and I do my little parody, his little joke. I just want to preference this. I don't hate the guy. I just find it absolutely hilarious that a grown-ass man is getting angry at another woman getting her job back, as they say. Apparently, he's angry because of she was supporting unionization. She tweeted out one tweet, and apparently all the AEW fans are not happy. And apparently, they're worried. So the real reason, it's not because they care about Zelena Vega, WJ. It's because Zelena Vega apparently is in a relationship with Aleister Black, who Aleister Black apparently is rumored to go to AEW. And apparently, JD from New York is worried that Aleister Black might go to AEW. If you're a grown-ass man, if you're a normal person, you wouldn't give a shit about any of these things. But the JD from New York, that doesn't really apply to him. He's completely mental. I love the fact he's got like this fucking, I don't know if you can see that there, but his little bar there, WJ. His little pool table there.
He's alone, a nice big bar. Nobody wants to hang out with him, Jerry. You know this is by himself. Damn. That's what happens when you take wrestling too seriously. But I'd like to correct you, Jerry. Aleister Black was a slave name. His name
really?
is
Oh, right.
his name is Tommy Andrade. If you want to be cool on with the AEW fans, you got to refer to him as Tommy there. Tommy Andrade. My top 3 favorite wrestlers of all time. Number 1, Tommy End. You know? You want to fit in with the cool people who are 600 pounds here. Now you know what you got to write next time.
Oh, God. So, again, we're not doing this out of hate at all for anyone. We're just doing this because I actually watched a bit of this video and I immediately knew I had to show WJ it and we had to go live with it because it was just absolutely hilarious. So, let us get on with it. Let us play a wee bit. So, this is the section here where he talks about it, all right? Let's go.
WWE.
By the way, tell me to pause at any time, WJ, if you want to interject, all right?
Okay.
Officials reportedly apologized to Zelena Vega. Now, if you guys watched SmackDown last night, Zelena Vega made her unfortunate return to the WWE. I ranted about this on the SmackDown live stream.
Unfortunate for who? For you. Because you have weird dreams of AEW when you sleep at night or whatever. It's not unfortunate for her. The actual person getting their job. Go ahead.
Yeah, what you hear a lot is unfortunate for you, for all of us guys, but who's he actually referring to? Like a bunch of virgins? Like no one actually... Like, on the subject of Aleister Black, I actually read his character that he actually wanted to have in WWE, and I hate to burst everybody's bubble. Like, everyone was like, the theme song's amazing, guys. The actual character that he came up with, and I read it, and a few people were reading this out. It sounds absolutely horrible. It sounds absolutely horrible. And Vince probably seen this and went, nah, probably not. And then they might bring him back to WWE. But guys like this, JD from New York, is not happy because, you know, all these guys are, Aleister Black, you're amazing. You got released from WWE. Don't go back to the system. Imagine talking like this.
Because they're insane, Jer. They're insane. And it's a bandwagon of insane retard. And him, what he does is he just fucking tries to give them what they want to hear, right? The popular opinion of the smarks on Twitter is Zelena say she was big victim in WWE, so they make video. She's a victim! Big victim! And now that she's back in WWE, the smarks are upset, so he's upset now. That's it, to give them what they want to hear. That's all it is. But she's a slut! She went back to the system.
Yeah.
What a whore!
That's what they were all saying on Twitter, mate, and it's psychotic. It's like, literally a few weeks ago, these people were praising Zelena Vega as the greatest thing ever. But because she went back to WWE, actually getting more money, probably getting more popularity. Yes, she lost to Liv Morgan, but she's in the Money in the Bank briefcase or whatever, and she might be a manager at some point. But what you're
Liv Morgan, is she supposed to be Hulk Hogan, Zelena? She had 2 matches in WWE. Is she supposed to be a great wrestler that shouldn't lose, right? Like, she was just starting out as a wrestler. Like, she's a talker, she can wrestle, but she's more of a talker.
All right, let's play the rest of this here.
On the post show, right here on OTS, I don't agree with her returning. Now, we don't know her reasons. She could have a very viable reason as to...
By the way, he says she might have a viable reason, but then starts hardcore fucking going at her. But I liked at the start of this, he said this almost like a disclaimer, like to kind of recover himself if she does have a legitimate reason. But I kind of found that hilarious, that part.
Why she came back. From the outsider's perspective looking in, it looks like she took the money and ran, and that's all she cares about. We don't know if she's
She
financially
already worked
stable.
there, jackass. Fuck, she's not selling out. She already worked there. Took the money and ran like if she stole something or fucking did the wrong move. Just because these freaks want her to go to AEW, that don't mean that's where she had to go. You freak show retard clown idiots. All of these AEW fucking nut jobs there, like she did something immoral. How is getting her job back something immoral? Like, it was the moral thing was to go to this shitty garbage clown circus fed. That would have been some kind of great thing. It would have been a nice thing. But she took her job back in the real company, and she's a sellout. She's wrong. Have like, what the fuck is this? It makes no sense. Like, from an outsider's perspective, from the perspective of somebody who has no idea what the fuck I'm talking about, I think you're a sellout. Well, you're just speculating and saying retarded shit for views there. Dumbass, go ahead, Jay. I don't want to insult him personally.
We don't know if she has a personal reason for wanting to go back to the WWE. I know she made a big deal about her father passing away, and she wanted to honor her father by finishing what she started in WWE. I remember when she wrestled Asuka for the Raw Women's Championship, she had made special ring gear in honor of her father. I don't know what the deal is, but from an outsider's perspective looking in, she certainly looks like a sellout.
Like, how can a normal... Look, I don't know if this is just me and WJ thinking this, but when you say 1 minute, she probably said this to honor her father, but from an outsider's perspective, she's a sellout. What type of normal person says this?
Both things don't relate. Like, she wants to finish what she started, which means she should go back, but that means she's a sellout. The two things don't make. So it's basically a bunch of empty shit. He actually makes a case as to why she should go back. And then he finishes by saying she's a sellout. Like, these wrestling fans there, just because they have subscribers on YouTube, that don't make them intellects. You know what I mean? Somebody writes, how heartless can JD get? Well, that too. She did something for her dad. She wanted to make her dad proud, who died. Well, I'm going to go against that because she didn't satisfy my AEW wet dreams. You can't. My dreams are more important than you fulfilling your own stuff for your dead father. What I want matters more. Get a life.
What a complete weirdo. Like, and the thing is, this guy got a lot of, like, people are, yeah, you tell him, power to the people. Like, how is this normal behavior? Like, that's what mate, the wrestling audience right now, in general, have just become absolutely mental. And we're not talking about the little YWC circle. I'm talking about guys like JD, Walk Culture. I'm talking the so-called elite wrestling channels. Most of them are completely mental. Like, they throw these baseless accusations as fact. He then presents a reason why she comes back, presents a valid reason why she comes back, and it's, but I'm just a sellout. like, what normal behavior is this?
So,
like,
somebody writes, Zelena owes nothing to this man or any AEW fan, but apparently they didn't get the memo. These guys there, it's these entitled wrestling fans there. You getting your job back and see, doing this stuff for your dead father, that's not as much as I'm worth, bitch.
Completely mental. Like, why would Zelena Vega care about a man with a CGI bar in the background? Like what? Is she gonna lose sleep because JD from New York like, put it this way, this man has been pretty much blackballed by WWE, right?
Didn't he apologize to her when this shit happened there?
I think it was Alexa
The first
Bliss.
time
Alexa Bliss he apologized to because he was saying
Alexa
stuff
Bliss.
about her.
Okay, yeah.
Like, and in that incident, both of them were in the wrong because Alexa Bliss was like making her fans attack him, attacking his family. But at the same time, though, you know, what he did was kind of two-faced in a way where he then said it, right? And he should say, right, that's it, you know, whatever. But then the next day immediately gave a positive WWE review. That didn't do well, so he went back to bashing WWE again. You know what I mean? So it's so weird. These people, like these kind of like if you want to call them mainstream wrestling channels, are so fake. They won't come up with their own opinion. They'll just say whatever what people think, you know, what the masses feel. But it's a small minority because nobody really watches wrestling anymore. All right, let's get on with it.
Her tweet on unionization in pro wrestling that garnered over 20,000 likes on Twitter. That tweet was deleted soon after she debuted, or returned, I should say, on SmackDown. Not really a good look for somebody that had the support of everybody in the community.
She never had any support in the community. This is the thing with this whole unionization thing, and this goes into backstage news. So if JD can use backstage news as a valid argument, I can use backstage news as well. What happened was Zelena Vega went up to a few wrestlers and said, maybe we should do unionization. Wrestlers looked at her and said, no, we shouldn't, because I don't want to lose my job.
So it's not her who decides. Wrestlers have to vote, and they don't want to vote for that.
Mm-hmm.
Right? They don't want to vote for that, and they're not interested. AEW isn't interested in the union.
Mm-hmm.
The only people interested in the union are the AEW fans because they thought it would hurt WWE. So that's why they're pissed off about the union or whatever. And when she tweeted that, people like him and AEW fans, boy, they thought WWE were going to unionize and they were going to have a hard time, boy. Their hands would be tied, AEW would be free, and they'd have the advantage on McMahon, and they'd have to push all the people they like Ricochet there. Ricochet would be forced to become WWE champ because of the union, Gerry. Just pathetic. These people have no common sense. Obviously, she tweeted that out of anger when she got released there.
Mm-hmm.
So it makes sense for her to take it down when she goes back, you know what I mean? But
It's
nobody in the wrestling business wants a union. See?
It would literally, like, the thing is, like, there's arguments to and for unionization, and I get that, but the thing is with unionizations is that it can sometimes bankrupt a wrestling company. You know what I mean? That's why, like, but at the same time, though, there's pros against unionization because then you have, like, wrestlers that might not be able to do movies. You know, like John Cena, for example. Like, you know, there might be certain contracts where he would have to stay wrestling in WWE. So
McMahon, he still paid stuff from AEW wrestlers that left.
Mm-hmm.
There was stories about that recently. McMahon paying for people that are there because McMahon is a real company. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
They have all their stories, you know, how he mistreats everybody, but they choose to be there because that's where the money is. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. I'll play the rest of this here. Hang on.
Because she stood up for what she believed in. Now she looks like a shill. Now she looks like a sellout. And
So if we're going to flip this around, right? So she can't change her opinion on certain things, right? So, for example, you originally were very much, I'm allowed to say whatever I want about Alexa Bliss, but then you apologized. So you had the ability to change your mind. So with Zelena Vega, because she didn't go to AEW, she's not allowed to change her mind at all, though, JD. Is that correct? So it's okay for yourself, though, to change your mind on certain topics and whatever. And I've done it as well. There's certain times where I would say something and then I would change my mind maybe a few years later. That's totally fine. Everyone's entitled to that. Everyone is entitled, maybe from different perspectives or whatever it is. But
maybe she tried to do the union too, and the wrestlers just didn't partake. How do we not know that, right?
Or maybe she actually looked at the research and seen it. Well, actually, that's probably not a good idea. There's another thing like that. All these and the thing is, it's like the term "sell out." It's like, and the people throw that term, sell out constantly to people. Where if they're successful or they want to do better for themselves, they're a sell out. I'm sorry, but like, well, I'm sure she's gonna lose sleep over you, JD, mate. I'm sure she's gonna lose sleep. Like,
I think a lot of people in the community are
like, why would you not be a sellout for joining AEW? Like, what makes them the place that's not a sellout place because they supposedly get freedom, whatever? Like, what makes it so special over there? Like, it's a billionaire that owns it. It's the same fucking thing. They make even less money there. You know what I mean?
And also, all the main owners have championships. Like, I know Cody Rhodes doesn't have the TNT championship anymore, whatever it's called now. But Kenny Omega and the Young Bucks are, at this point in time, they're still tag team champions, and Kenny Omega is still the world champion. So this type of notion that there's freedom in AEW, okay, let's just say you're a WWE wrestler. You listen to this guy here. Well, if you go to AEW, you're not a sellout. Okay, great. So you go to AEW, you do a few TV deals, and eventually they forget about you. That's the thing with a lot of the wrestlers that are up and coming right now, and you see this a lot with these guys fighting Cody Rhodes. They'll be on there maybe for a few weeks, and then they'll throw them away and forget about them. But the AEW fans don't mention that. They don't mention the fact that the so-called freedom is actually imprisonment. AEW essentially is an actual imprisonment. You don't really have a first shake at the World Championship because Kenny Omega, even though he's banged up and nearly injured, okay, he still refuses to give up the World Championship. You got the Young Bucks who have the tag team champions when there's actually legitimate better tag team division. There's actually better tag teams in AEW that could benefit from that championship. There's actually tag teams that could do well with that championship.
And Adam Page is next in line, apparently, to fight Omega, and he's Omega's friend or whatever. He's a friend of the Elite, and he's supposed to be like what they think is the next in line, this guy. Another member of the Elite, like.
There's no such thing as freedom. Like, if anything, AEW is more restrictive for their champions. They're more restrictive to their members than WWE really is. And don't get me wrong, WWE has done some scummy things in the past. I'm not going to deny that. But I hate this kind of argument that's being presented that AEW is the promised land. It's not the promised land. You go in there, you're probably going to be wrestling a few weeks and then forgot about it the next few weeks. You know, and the only way you can get forward in that company is by kissing Kenny Omega's ass or just being in the Elite. That's all it all boils down to. Like, these guys that are, like, and the thing is, they have some good talent in AEW. I'm not going to deny that. There is actually some guys that actually do deserve to do well in that company. Their tag team division is actually quite decent, but you get it hijacked by the Young Bucks, who I wouldn't even put in the top 100 tag teams. They're terrible. I watched one of their matches. Absolutely horrendous. These spots left, right, and center. No psychology, no nothing. So you've got better tag teams in AEW, and they're literally being held down by the Young Bucks who own the company. So I'm sick and tired of this argument that AEW is the promised land. It's not. It's actually more restrictive. And also, this unionization thing, AEW doesn't have a union either. So stop making this argument about unionization as a way to attack WWE, okay? WWE have a lot more better things. And this is the thing. JD, he can be entertaining for some people. I ain't going to deny that, okay? But the thing is with JD is that he makes arguments and he gets angry at stuff that really shouldn't matter. There's actually stuff legitimately that you can call out WWE on. They've done some terrible things, like the storylines, etc. But why are you angry that Zelena Vega got a job back and unionization when AEW didn't have unionization to begin with? It's just ridiculous to me.
It's for the views, Jer. That's why. It's for the views. It's all for the views.
It's ridiculous. Anyone who says, "Oh well, Gerry, you're responding to JD from New York for views," first of all, this video is going to be unmonetized. They're going to make no money off of it. Secondly, the very thing that we're doing here is exactly what JD's doing with the Zelena Vega thing. So for any kind of fanboys that say that, a little response there, but we'll get onto the rest of the video here.
Looking at Zelena Vega on SmackDown, not really having hope for much of anything, and everybody now has turned their back on her because she once stood for something she was very serious about, and now
nobody turned their back on her. Maybe AEW fans, but she still has her fans. If you go on Zelena Vega's page, you're going to see fans. I love you. I'm happy you're back. You're going to see a couple of 500-pound freaks of nature who never leave their homes. Weird fucking freaks. Get out of your fucking bitch. Fucking big bitch. No, you might see a few of those right now, right? But she has her fans. Just because goofball here, he's upset with her, that don't mean she has no support. This is delusional, Jared. I'm eating some Chinese leftovers as we speak, Jared.
Well, you get a few spring rolls there, WJ. Better checking there. Better checking. Better checking on there. I'll play the rest of this here. Hang on.
Comes off as if she doesn't give a shit at all. That's where I stood on the whole situation. I know she has a lot to give, but she's not the best in-ring performer that WWE has in that division. She is no different than all the other women that WWE are not pushing right now on main roster television. She was definitely utilized to the best of her abilities when she managed Angel Garza and Austin Theory and Andrade, and she was paired with Andrade as a solo act.
You changed your tune though, because now all of a sudden now she's now in WWE. But only a few weeks ago you were singing her praises on your YouTube channel, saying that she's absolutely amazing. But now randomly she's went to WWE. You've completely changed your tune. That's the thing with this guy.
They all do that. These AEW fans, they're excited for the Big Show. They spent 10 years telling Big Show to retire. Suddenly, they're excited for the Big Show. Yeah.
Mental, like.
When he was there, NXT champion, as he made his way to the main roster, they were a winning combo that they fucked up on. She definitely wants to wrestle. Don't know why she wanted to wrestle for WWE. She could have easily honored her father.
This is the best company in the world, idiot. That's why, the biggest one with the most money. What the fucking shit is this? Like, get a fucking grip. Get a fucking grip, psycho. Fuck.
Like, is this psycho mentality of, like, you know, like, imagine if, like, if you will, imagine if somebody, right, let's just say somebody got offered a job, right, and they got a higher paid job, or they go to another job that is just exactly like the other one, right, but more restrictive, but way less money and less people are kind of, like, involved in it and stuff. You'd obviously take this job. So if a normal person, per se, would turn around and say, oh, you shouldn't take this job. You should take this one because you're a sellout. Like, what type of mentality is this?
I don't want to work for Microsoft. I'm going to go work for Boo Boo Computers.
Boo Boo Computers.
They give me more freedom. a quarter of the paycheck, but more freedom. Yeah.
It's like... Oh, my God.
Impact. She could have went to MLW. She could have went to Ring of Honor.
My God, Gerry, if only she went to Ring of Honor, her moral status, the Lord Jesus Christ would have been impressed with that one, Gerry. You went to Ring of Honor. You did the right move here. You a fucking break. You're like, why would she go to Ring of Honor, Sacrament? They have rats in the building who make more money than the wrestlers, for God's sake. For the love of God.
What the fuck is wrong with this?
Why would she go? Why would give me a break?
Like, it's ridiculous to me, this type of mentality. Oh yeah, I think he said she'd go to Impact at one point, I think, didn't she?
She could have went to AEW, wrestled if she wanted to. Door would always be open there, and manage Andrade at the same time.
Just ridiculous, man.
This Gerry Andrade, he's such a special wrestler. He's so talented. She would rather be with him than to be in the company that's worth billions. That's it. She should be with Andrade, the guy that's boring like a white piece of paper. That's it.
Oh my God. It's absolutely mental.
Which I know he wanted her back in the company and said so personally. Now, maybe she didn't want another managerial role. We don't know. But I do think, and a lot of people do think...
Maybe Andrade isn't that important to let go of millions of dollars just to be with him. In order for this to make sense, you have to put a retard AEW sunglasses on your eyes, that McMahon and WWE are evil, Gerry. There, it's a pure evil company there. And AEW is great company. And you have to imagine that Andrade actually matters, and that he's actually entertaining and he's a star, because in reality he's not, right? So then it starts to make sense. Oh, Zelena, she missed her chance to be with the world famous Andrade, and she's working for Evil Corporation. But the reality is WWE is where the money's at. It's where the real best wrestlers are at. And Andrade ain't shit. That's the reality there.
Shout out to Joe Cronin there. Shout out to Joe there.
Andrade is boring. Nobody cares about him. Apart from fakes on the computer. Nobody cares.
It's like I don't know, like Andrade, he might have had a few matches, but he's not like a proper main event level guy. Like, he's not a guy that, he's not like a John Moxley. If you were going to present this argument, like, well, Zelena Vega should leave for Andrade, or, you know, if it was maybe like a big star, then maybe.
They've seen him wrestle in Mexico, Jer. That's why. His name was whatever it was, La Shadow or whatever. I don't remember what it was there, but they've seen him in Mexico, Jer. And Dave Meltzer said he's going to go to AEW and become a star. That's all. But in WWE, did you give a fuck when he was on TV? No.
Nope.
When he's on TV, it don't matter. He's just there in the mid-card, in the lower mid-card match. You know what I mean? Nobody fucking cared, you know? He won the NXT belt. It didn't mean shit. All right? He just doesn't have it for charisma. He can't even talk, for God's sake. Can't talk. No presence. No personality. What the fuck, like? There's no reason to care, really, like.
That role is suited best for her because that's where her strengths are as a manager, as a advocate for said client. in Andrade, or it could be anybody. Now, Andrade has a surprise. Whether or not we see that surprise in Miami remains to be seen.
What is it with AEW and these so-called surprises, and they're literally just a fart in an elevator? Like, what is these surprises? Cody Rhodes has a surprise, like, and it's Big Show. Oh, Big Show has a surprise. It's Mark Henry, Christian Cage. Like, yes, these are great wrestlers, but they're not big surprises. You know, oh, Andrade's got another surprise for him. He's got a big surprise. Who cares?
Basically, what happened, Jer, is in real wrestling, for years, we had real surprises that happened, you know? In wrestling, you get a surprise, you get a big surprise over the last 30 years of WWE, WCW. And then they try to fucking manufacture everything. Oh, this is a surprise, a big surprise. Oh, this is a huge surprise in wrestling. They're just trying to replicate the past. You know what I mean? Like in the past, they didn't have to be like, oh, surprise coming, big surprise. A surprise would just happen. And fans would freak out and stuff. It wasn't a thing that we would call it a surprise. Oh, big surprise at the next pay-per-view. You know what I mean? Surprises were actually natural. You wouldn't advertise a surprise in advance. Like, you know what I mean?
It's like, I don't get the, like, we'll play the rest of this video here, just in case here.
But we got another potential surprise, which Andrade could, you know, give us on AEW. Zelena Vega, I believe her name is, from MLW. She was a part.
Who the fuck is that? Who's that? Could someone in the comments tell me who that is?
Selena something, Della Renta, you said?
Part of MLW, and everybody's now making the rumor out there to be that she could be coming in to be Zelena Vega's replacement for the active Andrade. And I don't think that is a downgrade at all. In some aspect, that could be an upgrade for Andrade. So we don't really know. But where I stand on the whole Zelena Vega issue is that
better,
she looks like a...
The rip-off second place version from the MLW is the better choice. Not the real deal from the real company. The rip-off in MLW that's even smaller than ROH, that's better. Okay.
Sellout. The deleted tweet looks like she sold out. She once cared about this one big thing that everybody got behind her on, and now she looks like a complete shill.
What?
He's just repeating himself at this point.
He's just repeating himself at this point. Like, she's a shill, she's a sellout. But, like, not in this video, he hasn't presented one good argument why she's an actual sellout. That's the thing. Like, it's all like just, you know, shouting, but like without any type of
no
opinion.
substance in it.
He reminds me of, like, you know what, those kind of mental people that you see in like the city center where they have those big megaphones and they're like, the poo's gonna take over the world. Like, you know, they're making no sense, but they're entertaining to watch. You know what I mean? It's kind of like that. But anyone that takes any of these arguments seriously, I question your mentality. I completely question the mentality of this, because to me, it's ridiculous. It's a ridiculous statement to say that he's pissed off that this woman got her job back. Like, in any type of format outside of even if you were talking about an actor, for example, that went into a movie, and let's just say that actor went into a movie, and then they changed their mind and went back to that movie, and anyone said, oh, they shouldn't go into that movie. It's big money, but they should go to like an indie movie with less money that nobody will watch it. People would laugh at them. So why is this argument being presented in wrestling? I don't understand it.
These are fans of pro wrestling, Gerry.
But
she doesn't believe in herself. And if she doesn't believe in herself and took the easy money and took the easy way out.
Who said that? She don't believe in herself.
Yeah, who said that? Like,
where is he getting this from? Like, she's getting the easy money. You gotta work hard in WWE, idiot. It's the biggest company. You gotta put in a lot of work. Fuck. It's not just fucking. It's a lot harder than WWE than it is there. They have a much lighter schedule. Nothing is taken seriously in AEW. It's not even the real fucking product. Have you seen the backstage segments and the promos? It looks like it's written by 12-year-olds, for fuck's sake. You know what I mean?
yeah.
WWE, it's not easy money. They work hard, lots of traveling. They work a lot harder than your little goofball fantasy fad there, you know?
It's just ridiculous. Like,
why would anybody believe in her at all? You'd think she would know what WWE does to women that they have no interest in pushing. She showed up on SmackDown and lost in 1 minute to Liv Morgan, a Liv Morgan who's barely been featured in 4 years on the main roster. She's only getting some shine right now.
Maybe because they're trying to push her, and maybe they're trying to do storytelling. Have you ever considered that?
Plus, she's
Like,
not a big star, Zelena, in the ring, like he said himself. So why would she win right away like that? I don't know.
mental. It's mental.
Because WWE has no other choice. There are no other women on the show. They don't want to push Liv Morgan, though they should. She's gotten a lot better over the years. She's actually
I'll play the rest of
trying.
this.
But WWE doesn't want to push Liv Morgan. If things...
Actually, the thing is with Liv Morgan, she's actually getting a very good social media following because she's a very good looking woman and she's actually very decent in the ring. And the thing is, what I'm actually hearing is that she is actually getting a push. I am actually hearing that she is indeed actually getting a push. And apparently they want to do something on SmackDown.
Maybe that's why Liv Morgan won, a super hot blonde woman. Let's say, let's get back to reality as fans, whatever. That there's stuff that sells, which is hot women. Let's say, like,
she's
it's
not
not
perfect in the ring either, but you know what I mean. But
it's not all about fucking in-ring wrestling and Dave Meltzer. Let's not get confused about what wrestling is. Like,
let's see.
If were the way that they should, Liv Morgan wouldn't be a factor on WWE television. By default, they have to push her because they have no women on the SmackDown roster.
What are you talking about?
He's overanalyzing wrestling to some weird level. Like, who cares? Like, why would you even talk about Liv Morgan anyway? When are you gonna win? I mean, Liv Morgan. Who even goes that deep into Liv Morgan? It's a hot blonde female wrestler with a great body. That's all you need to fucking know. You don't need to go so deep and analyze her wins and loss. And it's too much, Jared. This guy's on a different planet here.
Yeah, I mean, and it's crazy that people actually agree with him too as well. But the thing is that I think the thing is with JD is that there's no one really that refutes him that much. Like, nobody kind of responds to him that much. And I think a lot of people kind of just go, oh yeah, JD, it's totally fine. It's totally fine. This is really the most I've actually seen from a JD video. Nothing against him or anything like that there, but it's like, this is the most I've seen. But I've watched it. We've been watching this now. What is it? 15 minutes now? Really? We're nearly towards the end here, I believe. And he hasn't presented one argument why Zelena Vega he hasn't presented one argument. In fact,
she had a job. She left and took the job she already had back. She's at the same as Sellout. You sell out to make more money. Usually, she went back to what she previously had. So she's not. She can't be selling out. It's only based on his ideas that she should have went to AEW pretty much there, or the Indies. But why would she? Like,
But you would think Zelena Vega knows what WWE does. What is different, I asked? What is different this time around than compared to last time? She's always going to be a loser.
What?
it's fake, idiot. She don't care about losing match. She's a performer there. She's a talker. She don't care about losing a match. You know, that's the thing. It's not about this. Like, it's not about work rate. It's not about going to AEW and winning a women's title that don't mean anything. You know what I mean? It don't matter to her if she lose. It's a job. She's a performer. Fuck. You know what I mean? It's like saying the Joker should leave Batman and fucking, because he always loses in the story. You know what I mean? Joker, you're better than this. You're better. You sold out. You're going back. You son of a bitch.
Hey guys, you know Darth Vader? I don't think he gets pushed enough. I think Darth Vader and the Empire should, be resurrected. And I think that they should kill Rey. And I think, it's like this type of weird argument. Like, it's a TV show, you moron. Like, it's like, that's the thing. When any of this news comes out about any of these wrestlers, they then present them as if they can be like the main event. And I hate to break everyone's bubble, okay? But not all wrestlers. If you have everyone that could be eligible for the main event, nobody's eligible for the main event. And that's the thing with these guys that got recently released. They got released because the WWE had nothing for them. But when AEW removed people from their company, there's no news on that, really. There's no news when AEW removed their kind of stars or whatever it might be. But every time there's some type of report of some person leaving in WWE, it's presented that the WWE is an evil corporation, okay? I'm just getting sick of it. You people never cared about any of these people when they left. You didn't care when they were in the company still. You didn't care one bit. But now they got released. Now you got some weird kind of argument that you can use against people. It's ridiculous to me. It's ridiculous to me. And I'm sorry, but I think this type of argument needs to stop. We need to just, wrestling fans right now need to become more sane and look at it at a level head. I hate to be one of those people that say, just enjoy the show, because you can critique the show, absolutely. But whenever you're making an argument, don't argue like this guy he has no, it's just a statement. He hasn't even convinced anyone why this woman shouldn't go back to the company. Not once. The only thing he said is she's a sellout. And then he said, well, her father wanted, because her father passed away, she wanted to end on like a good terms or whatever, which again is an actual argument against your argument, you moron. So what are you talking about? Like, what's
Gerry,
the point?
you just wait till Buddy Murphy goes to AEW, Gerry. You're going to have Kenny Omega versus Pac, Gerry, and just replace Pac against Bud and put Buddy Murphy in this place. It's the same thing. Like, what's the difference between Neville and Kenny Omega and Buddy Murphy versus Kenny Omega? Like, you can bring in 1,000 of these little guys that can wrestle. It ain't going to change a damn thing. It ain't going to increase viewership. Nothing. Like, it's sad.
Joe Cronin wants to join here. I'll send him a link here. Joe, I'll send you a link now, actually. Actually, there you go, Joe. I'll play the rest of this.
Why does Meltzer give 80 stars to a spot fest with no story? Basically, it's just his weird opinion of what wrestling should be in his mind. Yeah, it's his idea of what wrestling should be about work rate, and that's not what wrestling is, right? Wrestling companies don't present wrestling about work rate, like they never have. AEW maybe tries to do work rate because they're new age and weird and they're trying to impress Meltzer and the Smarks, whatever. But wrestling was never about work rate. I remember WCW big main events with Hollywood Hulk Hogan. Some of these matches were terrible and sloppy as fuck, but they were fun match. You know what I mean? You would have some goofy shit that happens and stuff, and it would still be entertaining. It wasn't about work rate wrestling. It never was. You know what I mean?
100%. We're joined now by Joe Cronin. Joe, how's it going, mate?
I am so pumped that Wrestling Jesus is back, dude. Holy hell. You kidding
Joe
me?
Cronin, how are you,
So
sir?
happy. I just want to jump in and defend. I can't believe I'm going to defend Catman, but here's the thing, and I always do it. But, you know, you were saying about Zelena Vega, you know, now, now all of a sudden he's got a problem. Oh, when she's right, because you were saying, right, that, let me just get this right.
Yeah.
So she's leaving WWE. So before she was scum and she sucked, but now she's leaving WWE, so she's awesome. And now that she went back to WWE, she's scum again. Is that what you're kind of saying?
In a roundabout way, yeah, mate.
Or is that what you're saying? Like because I would argue that I don't think he would say that. I think he would say like what I would say, which is, we always thought, man, that Zelena Vega was talented, especially as a manager, right? She's actually pretty good in the ring too. She's actually what Lana can't be. Lana is an amazing manager and looker and valet type, right? But in the ring, she's garbage. She's like a 7.5 out of 10 manager because of her looks and presence, and then a 0 or like a 1 or 2 in the ring. But Zelena Vega is a really good speaking manager and a good manager, and then at the same time can get in the ring and perform at least at a 6 or a 7 or something in the ring, maybe, you know? So I just think she's so much more valuable. And I think that, I guess JD is always mad about women. There's something going on there. I don't know. I mean,
I'll be honest, this is like really the first kind of full video I've watched of him. But yeah, he's quite angry at her. And the thing is, for me, as someone who's just seen this video, it's presented to me that and this happens a lot with these AEW fans, and it goes, both ways for any type of company, where you have a wrestler that might go to AEW, then they go back to WWE, and then all hell breaks loose on Twitter. And they're like, this wrestler is the worst part. Like, why would they do this? And I don't feel as if, like, in a kind of in a YouTube sense, the argument is not presented as to, this is why this wrestler is coming back. This is why this wrestler is coming back. And look, and again, it's the first video I've kind of seen of JD in quite some time, is that it looks to me as if he's angry at her because she didn't join AEW.
Yeah, that's what it is. No, that's all it is. He just wants to rant about how AEW is great and you're stupid now for going back to WWE. But here's the bottom line, JD, if you ever listen to this, you midget idiot. By the way, he hates himself and hates his own play. He hates everything. That's why why do you think he's wearing an Atlanta Braves hat? He's from New York. He should have a Yankees hat on, but he's got an Atlanta Braves hat on. Because at school, and he said this on my show when me and him used to do podcasts, he said, I wanted to piss everyone off by liking a different team. Like that goes that far back to him in school, wearing Atlanta Braves shit because he wanted to irritate everyone else. He's from New York. He should like the Yankees, where he's from. It's like me not being a Boston Red Sox fan, or, somebody not being, I don't know, where you are, it's probably a football comparison, like Real Madrid or somebody, like Manchester United liking them when you're from, it just doesn't make any sense. So
Yeah.
he just does it to get that right. He likes that. It's the same reason he has 3 girlfriends at once. He pisses them all off. It's like he enjoys it. Like, ha, you got to compete with the other one. The guy's is something up there about that. But here's the other bottom line. Zelena Vega probably got offered what Tony Khan was already grumbling a while back about. Oh my God, we can't just pay everyone $100K, or over $100K contracts. We can't keep giving 6-figure contracts out. You think they're giving Zelena Vega a 6-figure contract? She's probably got offered $80,000 to $60,000 in AEW, and in WWE probably got a nice offer for $200K. Of course, she came back to the WWE. It's like it's I can perform on a national stage in front of more people for more money, and I can probably do less work. Of course she's going to come back to WWE. I think she tried to do that streaming stuff and realized, oh, this could end tomorrow. Maybe this ain't the best
once she left WWE, she didn't have all that audience to watch the streams as much, right? So
right. And Jesus, that's another thing. Wrestling Jesus is right. She can now start to try to cultivate that again, or be in the public eye again and get another 2 years out of it. She's making the right decision for her. And like you said earlier, one more thing I'll say, and then I'll probably shut up for a while. Andrade, dude, listen, I'm an AEW fan. I'm a big AEW fan because AEW entertains me more than WWE does at this point. And whether that's good or bad, if they do something terrible, it entertains me more than WWE. WWE puts me to sleep. But people thinking Andrade, like, oh, wow, he's here. Oh, wow, he's here. Here's a microphone. Andrade's here. Here, Andrade. I don't tell you. Andrade shirt. El Inyo coming out. What the hell? Yeah, this guy is really, what a star.
Exactly.
The crowd almost suicided themselves the other night. He started talking and they were like, oh, dude, he was good with Zelena Vega in his corner. And I think that's why JD's also mad, maybe, and why people are mad, because if she's with him, he works. But if he doesn't have a good manager, he don't work. And they think Vicky Guerrero is going to be that. But God, man, besides wrestling pretty good in the ring and being agile and stuff, I mean, the guy has zero presence on the mic.
No, like, the thing is, like, I've noticed, like, a trend, and this has been going on for quite some time, where you have these wrestlers that have become almost like hype jobs, where they're, like, fans like JD and whoever it might be, build these kind of stars up and say they're amazing, you need to push them. Then when they eventually get into that spotlight, they're like a deer in the headlights. And they're like that. Now, for example, like Drew McIntyre.
Rusev did that.
Yeah, exactly. And the thing is that there are rare occasions where you can get an actual hype job to be really good. Like Drew McIntyre, I know I'm not really a big fan of what he's doing recently, but with Drew McIntyre, he went to Impact, then from Impact, he then went to WWE and had a somewhat of a semi-decent run, if you even want to call it, by current WWE standards, as it were. And there's a rare occasion that can happen, but what I'm seeing with a lot of these kind of like fans or whatever it is that they get these people that they see in some little kind of indie thing, hype them up. They get really angry because they're not pushed, or that they lose regularly, or they get angry because, they're not doing anything with them, even despite the fact that they've done things with them. So, and there's even times now where you're hearing now, apparently Vince is even talking to stars saying, what do you want to do? Like, apparently there's been stuff behind the scenes that he said, what do you want to do? And apparently some of these stars are like, I don't know.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Sometimes these guys have bad ideas, and sometimes they have good ideas. And sometimes it's like what you need to happen is it to sync up, right? So if Vince McMahon says to a star, all right, it's on you, and the star sucks with their ideas and their execution, then it fails and they go away. If Vince McMahon is in the mood of like, I'm not letting you choose what you want to do, I'm telling you what I want you to do, and they have good ideas and they're not allowed to do them. That happens so much. So it's like it feels like 70 to 80% of the time those stars never align. You have to almost hope that the stars align. It's like Wade Barrett, the bad news stuff. He enjoyed that. He had ideas for that. They let him roll with it. It seemed to be working, and then they sort of just took it away because they didn't like it. So it's always one or the other, either the star or the wrestler doesn't have good ideas, or it doesn't go their way, it doesn't work out, and then they're done. Or Vince has bad ideas and they can't get their ideas across, and those wavelengths never sync up.
No, I think the thing is that it's just, I think some of the wrestling fans, I don't know how, like, since I kind of came back and WJ came back, we've noticed that the mental. Actually, we'll play the rest of this video and then we might get into more of that. But
I'll be quiet more.
SmackDown was any indication, she's already lost in 1 minute to Liv Morgan. Yeah, she's in Money in the Bank, but I mean, you're making your return and you barely get in ring time. You want to be a professional wrestler, they only give you 1 minute to lose to Liv Morgan. I don't think that is getting off on the right foot. Everything about this just screams sellout to me.
Oh, she's going in Money in the Bank, so it's good for her, right? She's in the high-profile women's match. She lost a match. It's fake, you know.
Hey,
who cares? She's not even a wrestler. Go ahead, Joe.
Wrestling Jesus, are they building her like a face? Can you tell I didn't really see it all yet? I'm behind. SmackDown's the only thing I haven't seen yet.
I haven't seen much of it myself there. I'm just hearing results of what happened. So,
damn it. Because here's the thing. If they're building her as a face or maybe a face, the loss is probably to get sympathy. And now she enters the Money in the Bank with a maybe she can do it thing. You know, that's the only thing I can think. Because if she comes in and she comes in and she just wins right away, that's what all smarks, you know, and I'm a bit of a smark myself, but I mean, you know, that's what a lot of people would say, like, oh, they just win right away. And here, you know, Roman would win right away. So make them sort of lose, get the sympathy. This will make people, regular fans who are casuals, upset that she lost and cheer for her. And it will make smarks angry that she lost and cheer for her. I mean, that's my guess if she's going face.
Yeah, I mean, it makes sense. That, like, the thing is that let's just say hypothetically they didn't do that at all, and she was still like a heel or whatever it is. She's in the Money in the Bank. You know, she's in it. She's on a pay-per-view. You know what I mean? And there might be a reason why they're going to do that. They've clearly hired her for something. They've clearly hired her to at least do something. But
yeah,
to kind of for JD to kind of turn around and say that she's a sellout, I think that is just kind of ridiculous. I just feel as if the statement that he's saying about sellouts is ridiculous. I think we're nearly end this anyway, because I think he talks about something else. But
and that's where I stand on it. She doesn't believe in herself. Why should I? So WWE officials reportedly.
I think that's the end of what he
apologized to Zelena Vega. Like I said, she lost a match to Liv Morgan after being revealed as the latest competitor in the Money in the Bank women's ladder match. She commented on return after the entire show was over. She took to Twitter to issue this statement, and I quote, "What's it take from tonight? I'm back. I'm going to be in the Money in the Bank ladder match. I will win. Period. Everything else is irrelevant." She will not win. Everything else is clearly irrelevant. Everything that you stood for is indeed irrelevant.
Jesus.
Everything you've ever accomplished in life, you whore, is now irrelevant. Because you didn't go to a little fucking dweeb company there. Come on.
But wait a minute. What did he say earlier about Liv? Did he like Liv earlier? Is he giving Liv praise?
He kind of was like saying they should push her. But then I think he said, I don't know why they're pushing her.
Well, because he's got a backpedal. He's like, oh, she lost against Liv, so this is bad. But then it's like, oh, well, Liv needs a push, so he's
like there's no right answer for him here, because if Vega beats Liv, well, now Liv's done. So Liv has been here and been being in matches and trying to build, and then if Liv wins. Well, I mean, if Vega wins, then doesn't that bury Liv? And then, like, I mean, so either way, this is like the best of both worlds. You get two women in the ring. It's a roll-up situation, whatever, and they're both going to be in Money in the Bank. I don't think it's that big a deal. I just can't believe this is the thing that he snaps over. There's so many other things to freak out over.
Me and WJ were saying this earlier in the stream, with WJ, that we don't actually know why he's actually angry about this. Like, there's loads of other things that you could point out what's wrong with WWE or what's wrong with AEW or whatever it might be. There's plenty of things that's wrong right there. But I don't understand why this is the thing that he's angry about. Like, I don't get it. I just don't.
I think he's pissed. I think he's pissed off. He has a 7-inch laptop screen.
What is that background like? What is this? His new thing, like kind of like a Dr. Disrespect thing going on?
This looks worse. This looks almost as bad as Bruce Blitz's old fucking green screen set he used to have when he sat behind a desk and all you could see was Bruce Blitz's big round fat head behind the shitty green screen desk. Dude, I mean, this fucking guy's got a pool table that no one's ever played at behind him. What the fuck? Dude, you know, he thinks he's from Atlanta and he's from New York. He's got live nudes on the wall behind him. He looks weird behind this gigantic desk, but has a 7-inch laptop and a beer bottle that's like for kids. And the
microphone's positioned a bit weird as well. If I don't mind me asking. Like a
microphone is like a black dick that will never be sucked. I mean, dude, I'm telling you right now, this is why JD's angry. He lives in a VIP room by himself. He's got a goddamn in-the-wall refrigeration system and a fucking beer that's half the size of a normal beer. Dude, if I had a 7-inch screen and a half a beer in front of me and a notepad that never moved, I'd be upset too. And he's 5'6". Dude, he's 5'6". This is some kind of small sport syndrome thing. This shit's all on purpose to make him look bigger. Oh my God! Gerry, we figured it out.
We've broke the code, like. we broke the code.
It's all a fucking symbolic thing. I know I'm small. That's what it says. Holy shit, dude. Somewhere Rumpelstiltskin is missing his kids. Dude, what the fuck, bro? All right, I'm going to get out of here and let you finish the show. I love you guys.
All right, Joe. Have a good day.
Have a good day, man. I love Joe.
Well, that is right. If he's 5'6", he's going to want the Buddy Murphys to beat the Drew McIntyres, you know? But that's the thing. It don't relate to fucking reality. It don't relate to what sells, you know? It's not about work rate. The companies, they don't push wrestlers based on work rate. They push wrestlers based on what sells. It's not Buddy Murphy that sell. It's not Andrade that sell. Right? For some reason, these guys are looking at it from the Dave Meltzer perspective, but that's not the perspective of wrestling itself. Right? So,
it's mental, like, I think we're
so like you were saying earlier, they get behind these wrestlers only for them to fail because they're getting behind the wrong wrestlers for the wrong reasons.
Support that the fans gave you to back you up, standing your ground on what you believed in, yes, is now irrelevant. So she is certainly correct. That seems to be like an inconspicuous shoot by WWE and Zelena Vega. There you go.
There you go, Gerry.
There we go. That's it. Like,
she was released rather by WWE last November for reasons related to WWE's third-party edict at the time. Sports Illustrated reported that this was due to her breaching her contract. So she got fired because she stood for what she believed in.
No, she did. She got fired because she actually breached her contract. They put it in her contract that you can't do that. She breached that, and that's why she got fired. New Day have it in their contract that they can do social media. If Zelena Vega was smart, she would put that in her actual contract. And from what I understood, she probably somewhat put it in her new contract, which is probably re-signed. So it's not about standing up. It's like, let's just say you get hired by a job, right? And they tell you, please don't do this. Please don't do this. You cannot do this. Okay? And then you do it, and then you get fired and say, this is against my rights. No, you signed a contract that clearly stated you can't do that thing, and then don't act shocked that you get fired because of it. Like, it's like, does JD think he's Che Guevara or something? Like, what does he think he is? Like, some type of freedom fighter for the wrestling? Nobody cares.
Freedom AEW freedom fighters, they're out every day on Twitter, Jer, with bad arguments and shit that don't make sense. You know what I mean?
It's mental, like.
I was not afraid.
Basically, it's like taking what Dave Meltzer says, but making it more extreme, more stupid. You know what I mean? It's just like a dumber version, a dumber version of Dave Meltzer, basically. That's it.
The edict that would ban WWE stars from using Twitch, Cameo, and OnlyFans under their ring names. PW Insider reports that there were segments of the company who felt she should have been retained and not released. Those people pushed for conversations between the two sides, and that happened after Vega was released. The conversations eventually happened, and there was a long period of time where the two sides went back and forth to the point where WWE officials apologized to Vega for releasing her as well as offering her a deal to return. It was
so why are you angry then? It got sorted out.
That there are differing accounts as to
there you go. There you go.
I need views, Gerry. I need clicks.
When all that happened, as one source says it was in May, while another said it was much sooner than that, but all sides opted to keep it quiet so they could strategize a return. Fightful previously reported in May that Vega was spotted at the Performance Center and the two sides were working on a deal to have her return.
What do you think you are, CNN? Like, what the hell is this like?
So if it was much sooner...
Fightful reports.
Fightful reports? So that great source, Fightful reports, like, what is this?
We're back with the news from...
hey guys, leave with the news there, guys.
You guys.
Fightful reports that
it would be more fucked up because on WWE's behalf, and she would actually look like a blithering idiot. If it was much sooner, she opted to...
Oh, give me 2 seconds.
JD from New York is very fake news. It's pretty much somebody wrote earlier, he's just doing clickbait, and that's what it is. They're just doing over the top video.
Only to think, hey, Alistair, my husband is going to be on TV. He's going to get a big role, so let's negotiate.
Can you rewind that a sec, Jer?
Yeah. This is where this is when he gets into full-blown conspiracy theory, right?
Yeah.
And then after this, we'll turn it off.
When all that happened, as one source says it was in May, while another said it was much sooner than that, but all sides opted to keep it quiet so they could strategize a return. Fightful previously reported in May that Vega was spotted at the Performance Center and the two sides were working on a deal to have her return. So if it was much sooner, it would be more fucked up because on WWE's behalf, and she would actually look like a blithering idiot. If it was much sooner, she opted to come back to the company only to think, hey, Alistair, my husband is going to be on TV. He's going to get a big role, so let's negotiate a contract. I'd love to come back. If he's going to be on TV, I want to be in the company that my husband is working for. Now she signed while he was still there, and now she's back, and he's fired. So if it was
she has value on the mic, he doesn't. So that's what happens in wrestling. But maybe he'll be brought back, and then they're gonna rage. Tommy End, I had faith in you, Tommy.
Tommy,
I had faith. But like she became a star. Was she a star when she was in D&Ds, when she was in TNA for a while? No. McMahon made her a star, you know what I mean?
No.
Like if Aleister Black, he lost his job, does she have to quit there? No, if she's good enough to have her job and he lost his, well, fuck, you know. Is she's supposed to give up millions of dollars? Because that boring Aleister Black lost his job, Gerry. Come on there.
It's ridiculous.
Or like maybe let's say she fucking was hired with the idea that she was only going back because her husband is there, then he gets released and McMahon is so evil. Like, say that's the way it works in wrestling. People get released all the time, you know. She was brought back because she's a professional. She's an entertainer, a wrestler, whatever. She went back there. She didn't go work there because her boyfriend works there. This isn't high school. You know what I mean?
It's not High School Musical, like.
It's not high school. She went back there because to get her job back, that brings her all the money. It's not because her boyfriend's there. Like, is Charlotte Flair gonna quit WWE and go to AEW because her boyfriend's there? Good luck. Apparently, all these WWE women, Charlotte, Zelena, they should all leave the big company to go be with that boring guy. Newsflash, nobody cares about Andrade. Go off the chair.
A lot sooner than, or a lot more recent.
This is where he gets into like conspiracy theory weirdo thing. Like, I don't know what he's talking about. Well, I'll play the food thing.
I should say, than anything else. And this is exactly what happened. I mean, even if you want to go back a couple of months, Aleister Black was being featured on SmackDown with these Dark Father vignettes. Who's to say she wasn't negotiating while he was being repackaged and brought back to TV? She looked at it and said, you know what? My husband's on TV. He's going to be given a major role on SmackDown. They're going to debut him back. They got this Dark Father.
She was there before he was like... Does her, like, when she joined WWE the first time, was it for her own career? Like, you know what I mean? I'm pretty sure she's going to go back for her own career. You know what I mean? Not because her boyfriend, Tommy, is being featured on TV. You know, I worked here for 5-6 years or however it's been there. I'm going to only come back because my boyfriend is here. You know what I mean? I don't think it would have worked like that. Like, and if she did bring him back, if she did come back thinking he would be there, then it is what it is. But he got released, so.
Gimmick going on.
It's mental, mate. Like,
do you really think that they would fake? Oh, we're going to pretend to push Aleister Black / Tommy, yeah. That they would pretend to push him just to get her to come back, and then they release Aleister Black. Like it's some big evil plot McMahon came up with to hurt her or what? Like, she's going to get her job back. Is she going to cry because Tommy isn't working there anymore? Tommy! Like
Tommy!
Like she's there to fucking work, because she's a wrestler and entertainer. She worked her entire life to be there. It's not just because of her boyfriend. This is stupid. Like,
I want to be back where he is, only for him to be fired. Now she looks like an idiot. Her husband is gone, more than likely headed to AEW.
Even if he does, so what? I'm a Mac. Like,
what type of like weirdo argument is this?
Why would she look like an idiot? Like,
goes back up there, I would be floored. Somebody in that household has to realize what WWE is either A, trying to do here, or B, completely capable of when they didn't treat you the right way the first time.
So basically, Gerry, he's implying it that WWE were pushing him on TV just to get her to sign, and then they dump him. Is that what really he's implying? Yeah, like
apparently, I think so. I don't really know, to be fair,
like shouldn't you need some kind of evidence to suggest something like this, that WWE negotiated her contract under false pretense that he would be there? They push him to to reassure kind of deal, and then she signs. Oh, now you sign, jackass. You look like an idiot now. We're going to fire your husband or whatever. See?
Here's the thing, right? Let's just say this argument, I think the argument that he's presenting is that they fired Zelena Vega. They fired Aleister Black. Aleister Black might go to AEW. They signed Zelena Vega to a contract. And then by her being in WWE, he might change his mind and go back to WWE. I'm going to actually give you a retort that breaks that entire argument down. Why did they not just keep them there in the first place? Why would WWE waste? Why would WWE spend so much money on Zelena Vega and Aleister Black for them maybe to go to AEW, have such a complicated route of these contracts just to sign them back? Would they not just keep them in the company? What are you, mental?
Well, he's boring, I think, me, Aleister Black. Like, I don't get what the big deal was with him anyway. Like, push Aleister. What for? Fuck. What's so special about this guy? He just comes off as a weird dude. Like, and he's not really that big either. Is just weird. Yeah, like, her, at least she has value. She looks good. She can talk and stuff. Him, what does he bring? Like, he can sit down in the ring and he has tattoos like CM Punk. Is that what the thing is there? Because he has tattoos and he sits down in the ring. It reminds people of CM Punk. The guy sucked on the mic. He has a weird face, I think. I don't know. Like, his finisher, the Black Mass, isn't that good, I think. But
should we stop this video now? He's pretty much repeating himself now. Or do you want to? What do you want to do?
Give him another few seconds to see.
Understand that if he goes back there, he will amount to nothing. Very rarely does WWE do the right thing. In this case, they'll just want you back to keep you away from AEW. Seems like to me they could definitely.
So why did they not just keep them in the first place, you moron? Like, why did they not? If they were so worried that they were going to go to AEW, why did they not just re-sign them a contract? Why would they do this weirdo thing just to get the two of them back to WWE? It makes no sense. This is like this. That's a weirdo conspiracy. You ever seen the meme of your man from what you call it? Always Sunny in Philadelphia, where he's like pointing at the screen, like doing this here with like a cigarette hanging out and trying to explain. This is what JD looks like. Like, this is a mental argument, and I think he's
I know what you mean. Danny DeVito.
Yeah.
I know the other guy in the meme. Okay.
And he's like this here. That's what JD from New York looks like.
That's when I saw that episode. He's like that.
Of playing Zelena Vega just to get her back so that she doesn't go anywhere else. Did WWE man up and say, hey, man, we fucked up? No. They are never in a position where they will willingly admit that they fucked up. She took the money thinking that both of them were going to be on TV. And now look, he's off TV, fired, and she's back losing to Liv Morgan in 1 minute.
That's the nature of wrestling. People get released. Yeah.
And do you not think that, like, she found out, I'm getting released, by the way, Aleister Black? Yeah, no problem. Are you going to AEW? Yeah, I'll just go to AEW. And then Aleister Black gets released. So what are you doing, Selena? I'm going back to WWE. Okay, honey, no problem. Like, why is this so overcomplicated? Why is this so complicated? Like, what? That's the thing with these wrestling fans. They make their arguments more complicated, but if you actually simple it down and explain why they're wrong, their arguments get completely wiped away. And that's what we've done pretty much. Like,
none of this makes sense to me. None of it.
You don't make sense.
None of it makes sense. The only way anybody from the outside looking in could interpret this is Zelena's a sellout and WWE fucked not only her husband up, but fucked her over as well.
All stuff with no evidence. So.
No evidence at all.
Goes to AEW and gets treated the way he always should have been treated. Don't go back there because your wife is now given a new contract and a new lease on life. Don't go there because of that.
Okay,
Don't make
listen,
your money.
Tommy, I mean, you could go back and make millions of dollars there and become Alistair again, but listen, there's a 5'6" midget in his basement, Gerry, there. And he'll tell you what to do with your career, Tommy. He watches AEW. He's got a podcast there. He knows what's good for you, Tommy. Not what you want, or it's what the fans want on Twitter.
On Twitter there.
Somewhere else. Somebody in that household has to have some fucking brains to do what is right.
Jesus.
And fuck WWE if they're using Vega now, bringing her back now, as Alistair is inching closer to that 90-day contract clause being up. Fuck them if they're using her as leverage to get him back in the company. Because it's only going to be the same thing, just reversed. If he's back, he ain't going nowhere. She's back, she ain't going nowhere. WWE may end up making them the new Miro and new Lana. Zelena Vega, I'd be surprised if she's not doing that.
Because Miro looks good in AEW. You notice how Miro comes out and nobody gives a flying fuck what he's doing in AEW. So what's Tommy gonna do? He's just gonna be a tag team partner with Neville. They look like the same guy almost. Fuck. He's gonna be maybe Neville's tag team partner or something or whatever. What's he gonna do, this guy? Oh, Alistair Black, it's Tommy End. I'm gonna end you. You know what I mean?
Like, by the time Alistair,
he ain't gonna attract any viewers if he has any brains, and they do want him back, then he should go back. But they let him go because it's not working. It is what it is. If they bring him back, it's out of generosity to Zelena and nothing else is what I would think. But
like any normal person would think at WJ, but not JD.
Like they let him go because he's boring and he brings nothing to the table. Like you said, why wouldn't they just keep him there instead of doing all kind of heavy conspiracies? And they let Zelena go in the first place anyway. So, like,
Black is back. Anyway, guys, thank you so very much for all your support. If you enjoyed this video, please.
I didn't. Right. So, so WJ, this is the very first JD video I've really watched. And, look, nothing. I'm not attacking the guy per se, and for those that like him and find him entertaining, that's totally fine. There's people that like him doing that, but we're really more dissecting the argument, and the argument that he's presented is just ridiculous. Like this weirdo, like what I don't get is this mentality, this weirdo conspiracy mentality that, oh, like well, Zelena Vega's over here, but then she goes over here, but Alistair Black's in the middle, so he might go back, and this might happen, and this might happen from an outsider's. It doesn't make any sense. The video here has been refuted. I refuted it in like 30 seconds, to be honest with you, but I do apologize that the video has gone on quite some time, but me and WJ were having too much fun with this video. So apologies that it was a wee bit long there, but first and foremost, before we get into your channel there, I just want to let you all know I'm just taking a break for about a week, maybe a half. There's a few things that I just need to sort out in my personal life. It's not serious. It's actually good news. I can't really get into what it is now, but some good news has happened to me, and I just need to focus on that for about a week and a half, and then I'll be back. And I'll be on the Wrestling Gods page. If you guys want to follow the Wrestling Gods on Facebook, WJ, you have a new YouTube channel.
Yes, sir, Jer. I got a new YouTube channel there. Wrestling Rants News Review. The whole 9 yards, Jerry. Back in business there.
And you've uploaded a good few videos on there, which is really good. So subscribe to WJ. Yeah, I seen your AEW. It's pretty funny. But subscribe to WJ. Let's get some subscribers up for him. That's where he is right now. And show him some support. Watch all his videos there and share them. And you can also subscribe to the General Gerry channel as well there if you want. Before we go, we're nearly at 5,000 subscribers. I'm willing to put myself on the line, WJ. All right.
Okay.
The most video that's been requested is the roast of General Gerry. Okay. I'm usually not the person to ask for subscribers, but for just in case, if I get 5,000 subscribers, I will do the roast of General Gerry. I will try and get the Smart Busters in. We'll get WJ in here. We'll get Zubair in here. We might get Jason in here. We might do like a roast of General Gerry. The video that you've all been asking for, we'll eventually do that because you keep asking me and I'm getting sick of it. So if we get 5,000 subscribers, I'll do it. All right. Also, Zubair, by the way, 1,000 subscribers to Zubair. Congratulations to Zubair. He's doing amazing right now. He's actually really doing really good content. So subscribe to him. He's in the chat there. But also subscribe to WJ. He does absolutely amazing content on there. And let's get him. Let's get up to 1,000 as well. All right, let's get 1,000, boys. Let's get 1,000.
It's gonna take a while, Jer.
We'll get it up. Don't worry, WJ. As
Well, I had fun bashing JD today, Jer.
I actually kind of enjoyed it. He's probably
200 subs, 1,000 subs. Nothing brings joy like bashing a retard, Jer. It's that kind of joy you don't get all the time, Jer. It's.
I'm not going to lie, it was quite fun. And also, thank you to Joe Cronin as well for joining there briefly. Subscribe to Joe Cronin as well. He just briefly joined there, so thank you, Joe. Guys, thank you so much for your support. I'll see you all in about a week and a half. This is General Gerry on the General Gerry channel. Signing out.